Have you guys been doing your hard Doom Tower secret rooms for the past several months? If so, you should have a second legendary champion by now. The first one being Thea the Tomb Angel, and then the third one being UROST the Soulcage. No, that's actually the second one, and that is the champion we're going to look at today in this video, so let's jump right in. Let's first do a quick recap of his skills in case you guys have forgot. On the A1, we have a self-shield buff, which will increase in size if there's any poison debuffs on the target. On the A2, same concept. The more poison debuffs there is, this AoE will deal more effects. On 1 poison debuff, turn meter reduction, 2, decrease speed, and 3, stun. Also, this guy will instantly activate this skill when this champion is revived by Rian the Conjurer, which is one of the epic champions we're getting for the normal Doom Tower. Then we have an AoE strengthen buff with ally protection, and then for the passive, here's where this is really interesting. You have a 75% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff on the attacker for 2 turns. If an ally is attacked with a strengthened buff, he will place a provoke, and then this guy will increase his own max HP and decrease the max HP of the enemies if there is any poison debuffs. And then we have a resistance aura of 80 for all battles. Now let's go take him for a spin in the Doom Tower, where he can apparently solo this stage. So by himself, he basically has everything he needs to take this on. He's certainly not the only one that can do this, but there is something interesting about this, the fact that he doesn't need really specialized gear to do it. He can get away with immortal gear, as you guys will see when we check out his total stats. All right, so overall, we're placing those poison debuffs from the passive, which is fantastic. And again, the more poison debuffs there is on the enemies, the more interesting his AoE is going to be, the A2. Also, if there's multiple hits, apparently he's placing a poison debuff on each of those hits, which is really good. So also perhaps for the clan boss, this is going to be really interesting. But in today's video, we're not going to do clan boss. We're going to focus on Doom Tower, and I have one dungeon run at the end as well. That was wave number 1. Wave number 2, same concept, pretty easy. Let's fast forward to the boss now. We want to see this in action. And yeah, you've guessed it, it's the Scarab King. So no destroy gear, we're going at this full auto. The player that presented this to me basically said he had to manual the boss fight to make it faster. The thing with UROST the Soulcage, I believe he's not going to do his A2 unless there's specific conditions. For instance, if there's only one enemy and there's not a certain amount of poison debuffs, he might not do it. I think that's what I noticed here. I could be wrong, but he seems to be going between his A1 and A3. Not the end of the world. The A3 with the strength and buff is somewhat of a problem because the Scarab King is going to try and steal it. He's not going to try. He's going to do it. He's going to steal it, but it's not the end of the world because you're not relying on your raw damage to kill this guy. You're relying on your poison debuffs. Therefore, it still works. Don't forget, he's also going to get a little bit stronger, right, as we're getting hit. So his max HP is increasing. With the immortal gear, we're healing pretty well. And then for the A1, we're getting that shield, which is really important, much like Vergus. So obviously Vergus is another candidate for this, but Vergus takes quite a lot of time to do this if I'm not mistaken. Instead, this guy will do this in a reasonable amount of time. So let's fast forward to the end here. And as you will see in a second, we're actually hitting such a good speed run here that I believe this is the fastest run on this account. It says 5 minutes and 21 seconds, not based on the turns, on the time. So overall, guys, if you want a champion for this, he's your go-to guy. Now let's go check out the dungeons, where I just quickly put together a team that had accessible champions first, right? I get that UROST Soulcage is not really accessible, but he's technically one of those free-to-play heroes. So we have Lydia, we have UROST the Soulcage, Grush the Mangler, we do have Sal the Drakes, and we have Dark Elhain in here to deal with the Ice Golem 24. So we're not relying on UROST the Soulcage to take down all these waves. Instead, we want to see if for the boss fight with the ally protection, are we going to be able to survive a little bit easier while having a nuker like Dark Elhain? We all know that if you nuke too hard, you're going to trigger Frigid Vengeance into another one, and then you're most likely going to wipe. We're also just relying on Grush the Mangler to place that decrease attack, which is a hit or miss. So there are better champions to do this. I'm not saying UROST the Soulcage is a carry here. We just want to see this guy in action with a somewhat somewhat accessible team. First wave, easy peasy. Second wave, a little bit harder because of the reflect buff right there. But so as long as Sal the Drakes doesn't die, we should be all right. Let's fast forward to the boss now, which is right here. And as you can imagine, with that strengthened buff, we're going to soak up a lot of damage, right? And that will cause this guy to probably die. Also, he is a little bit squishy in terms of defense. He just has right there high HP, right? Not the end of the world. We have Sal the Drakes. He's going to come right back up, and we're going to finish this run. It's still going to work, but it's not just because of UROST the Soulcage. If anything, Dark Elhain here is gonna be the one to kind of finish this off. Still with those little extra poison debuffs. Hopefully it is helping to not trigger the Frigid Vengeances. If you get lucky with a big hit, then you get a poison tick. It goes past the Frigid Vengeance mark, and then you're good to go, right? But again, we just wanted to see this guy in action. So here it is. We're going to fast forward to the end. We're about to trigger 2 Frigid Vengeances. I think we did one already. Now we did another one. The ads are back up. The first one is blocked by Lydia, which is great for this. But then here we go with the second one where the ads are going to be up, and that is a problem. We're gonna wipe because of that. Almost fully wipe. Right there, boom. And then we're left with a sliver of health on our Dark Elhain, and we can finish off the boss in one more hit right there. Okay, so 3 minutes and 54 seconds, not bad. And now for the gear, and yes, I did not really try him out in the clan boss or the arena. I'm pretty sure he can be really interesting there as well. We're gonna see the full combo once we have Rion the Conjurer, Akoth the Seared, and this guy. But for today, we just wanted a quick first impression of this champ. So for this account, we have a resistance chest piece. He did have an HP percent chest piece before. I decided to give him more resistance so that he can properly solo the Scarab King. Again, he did it on somewhat manual for the boss fight, but overall with these stats, it should work for you guys. We have HP percent for the gloves. Then for the boots here, we have HP percent as well. Basically just kind of speed, accuracy, and resistance at this point. HP percent, right? All of that good stuff for this champ. We have HP for the ring. We have HP for the amulet, and we have accuracy for the banner. Total stats on this guy, 95k HP. When I first got him, he had 112,000 HP. Speed is a little bit low. I will advise you guys to try and aim for 210, so you're kind of like in tune with the Scarab King. Every once in a while, he's going to lap you, and then that could potentially cause you to wipe if you're looking to do a solo artist for that specific floor. Resistance here 260. Don't forget you have his aura, so we're technically at 340. I would always try and get maybe even a little bit more, so perhaps with glyphs on this gear we would be fine. 345 accuracy, just right for the hard Doom Tower. All the skills are done for this guy on this account. And then here are the Masteries, which I assume would be somewhat a little bit for like a clan boss build with the War Master. Life Drinker here is also pretty good. So there you have it, guys. A quick look at our new guy, UROST the Soulcage. I'm glad that, you know, perhaps I can use him for at least that, soloing the Scarab King, even if it's a little bit longer than my usual runs. 100% success rate, if this is the case, is always a great improvement over, let's say, 50% success rate. So do let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you guys excited about this champion? Huge shout out to Voco here for letting me showcase on his account. I'll catch you guys later.